world is bright. Islam is my sight.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching The Straight Path. We're talking about East, West, and in between. We're still talking to Sheikh Yusuf Estes and Brother Abdul Aziz Qasim from Switzerland. We were just talking about how Muslims are reactive towards certain situations. Tell us a bit about what is happening in Switzerland at the moment with the minarets.
Well, yeah, brother, at the moment, of course, the situation has calmed down since the decision has been taken and things have settled. We have still a group which is trying to go to the Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg in order to overrule the decision which had been taken by the Swiss people. Whether or not he will be successful, Allah knows. We are not sure about it, but we will see what is happening. I can tell you maybe from the beginning the story how it began. Let's say the first minaret had been built in Switzerland, as much as I'm aware, in the 70s by the Ahmadiyya group. However, there was never an issue about this minaret, which is in Zurich, by the way, by the financial capital of Switzerland. We had never an issue about this minaret until recently, the beginning of the 2000, 2001, somewhere around there, when another smaller community, as much as I'm concerned, a Turkish one, tried to build another minaret in Switzerland. This would then be the third, because we had already another one, which was also built in Geneva, on the Saudi mosque there, on the Arab mosque, but also this one had, of course, never been a matter of discussion before. But then, when this new community came in and tried to build this new minaret, asked for permission in order to raise it, the discussion began about it, and some people living there near to it, they rejected it and asked the government to prohibit the ban it, not to be built over there. So the issue became national through the media, of course, attracted a lot of discussions all over Switzerland, and went even out the borders to Austria, to Germany, and so on. I saw placards in Austria. I saw discussions in Germany about the minaret, and so the topic was raised and came to the political discussion more and more. When a fourth group wanted to build the minaret, and it was accepted by the government there, the local government, to do so, then actually a right-wing group came up and said, okay, we have to ban it by an initiative, because Switzerland, as you know, is a country where they have a so-called direct democracy, meaning that people can stage initiatives, collecting 100,000 signatures, giving it into the government, and if they prove to be right, 100,000 signatures of citizens, they have the right to vote about an issue, and afterwards it will directly be put into the constitution.
What was the reason for their asking for this?
Well, let's say these right-wing groups are engaging for a long time, not only in anti-Islamic activities, but rather in activities against people who are from abroad, any foreigners. They are somehow critical against foreigners and immigration in general. So what has happened in the last few years, and what we clearly see all over Europe, is a change in the discourse. A change in the discourse against foreigners and against immigration to against Muslims. To say we're not anymore against foreigners and immigration only, but now the special case of this are the Muslims, and we're really fearing Muslims. So they came up with a lot of diffuse anxiousness, like, for example, they said we fear the Sharia. If the minarets come, Sharia will be implemented next. If the minarets come, women's circumcision will be practiced in Switzerland. Although this is of course not an Islamic practice, but
Okay, we have Brother Nicholas Lankow, the director of the Islamic Center of Switzerland. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to The Straight Path. Okay, we are joined here by another Swiss citizen, Brother Abdul Aziz, but we would like you, as you're in the position of a director of an Islamic Center, what are some of the reactions you have from the non-Muslims in Switzerland with regards to the minarets in Switzerland?
Okay. We have a lot of reaction, and we have some positive reactions, and we have some negative reactions. And I guess that the moreover is the negative reaction.
Okay.
But we have some Swiss, they are really upset from minaret, from this forbidding the minaret.
Mm-hmm.
So they build the minaret on their houses, just to demonstrate that they are really upset for this.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
No.
Okay. With regards to your Islamic center there in Switzerland, what are some of the things you're doing in order to teach the people about the right concept of Islam and why the minarets are not supposed to be banned?
So we start now with the information company, and we try to make some expose and some seminars, and we try to explain to the Swiss people what is Islam in fact, and what is meaning Islam in fact, and that Islam is not a danger for this country, and it's not a danger for this for this people and for the education, nor for the culture. But the Islam, they could profit, they could take profit from Islam and learn a lot about it. So we try to explain in a very simple way, and also in a very clear way, that this Islam is not really dangerous for the people, as the parties, the political parties, are telling them now.
Okay, what is the degree of success of that effort of yours?
What is the degree
Of success? How successful is it?
How?
How successful are you in this effort, Yani? What's the impression of the people after this effort was made by your organization?
So we are very young, as you see, and as you know, we have 5 months ago we started, and the reactions are. We have some people, they don't love Islam, they hate it.
Okay.
And so what do you do with these people? If they hate something, you can hardly try to change this. But we have some other reactions, and they are really open-minded people. They want to know about Islam, and they see that the discussion around Islam is now going into a hate discussion.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the Straight Path today. That's Brother Nicholas Lanko, one of the directors of the Islamic Center there in Switzerland. One of the points he made there is, 2 questions I want to ask you from what he said. Are they taking the right approach towards informing the people about what Islam is? And he said once someone hates Islam, it's so difficult to convince him. Is this true?
In our experience, what we've found is that the more that you strive to present the proper picture of Islam through your own efforts and your character, and not just with pictures and stories, but with actual things that you see Muslims physically doing and participating in the community, yes, that's a definite positive step. Having open house is like one of the biggest things we have going in the United States right now. We recently had off topic a bit, but we recently had an open house in a masjid across the street from my house.
Okay.
And a snowstorm hit the very day that we had our open house. The storm was so bad I could not see the masjid from my own window. And I thought, my God, well, there's my excuse. I'm not going to go pray over there today. And I thought, well, if I don't, then I gave a lecture the night before. You don't have any excuse not to come. You really don't. You guys got all these excuses, but you don't really have a reason. So if I don't go, that's going to be too much. And now I'd been there for Fajr. I said, all right, I'll go back for the noon prayer, Dhuhr. When I went, I trudged through the snow, literally almost to my knee, halfway to my knee, and I could hardly see. The snow was still coming down, and when I opened the door and went in, there was a man sitting there waiting for us in the chair, and somebody was showing him a pre-recorded lecture that we had. And then a couple came, a man and his wife, elderly. They sat there through it, and then about 40 Muslims showed up because they said, after that speech you gave last night, we knew we had to come no matter what. And I said, boy, it's a good thing I showed up. And then the gentleman entered Islam.